Imagine stepping into a tiny backyard where nothing is expensive, yet everything feels intentional. A line of old bottles catches the sun and spills soft color onto the soil like stained glass. Along the fence, clear jars glow with flowers and herbs, turning a plain wall into a living ribbon. Near your vegetable bed, worn CDs flicker gently, like quiet little shields in the morning light. And then you look down, and even the path is made of mismatched pieces that somehow feel perfect together. If your yard is small, your budget is tight, and you've got trash lying around, this is where the magic starts. Welcome back to Backyard Fortune, the little corner of the internet where tiny spaces and everyday trash turn into gardens that feel like home. Today we're exploring DIY-friendly garden borders made from things you probably already have: bottles, jars, broken pots, old discs, puzzle pieces, rope, wood scraps, simple objects that can become something surprisingly beautiful. If you love ideas like this, I'd love to invite you to subscribe, because we're building a full series of trash to treasure garden transformations, and your support truly helps keep this small family project alive. And as you watch, think of one friend or relative who loves gardening but doesn't have much space. If this video gives you even one idea, please share it to WhatsApp and Facebook so more garden lovers can discover it too. To everyone who watches, shares, and follows along, may you be blessed with a long life, strong health, and a little corner of earth that keeps surprising you in beautiful ways. One rainbow bottle glow border. Imagine sunlight entering a small backyard like a quiet guest, unannounced yet instantly felt. Along the edge of the garden bed, old glass bottles rise gently from the soil, green, amber, blue, and clear, standing shoulder to shoulder as if they were always meant to be there. Each bottle holds the light differently. Some scatter soft patches of color onto the ground, like tiny stained glass windows laid flat beneath your feet. Others seem to trap the sunlight for a moment, letting it glow slowly as the day moves on. There is nothing polished here, nothing forced. Just familiar objects, reimagined with care. The border does more than mark a boundary. It frames the garden like a memory, guiding your eyes along the path while protecting the herbs and flowers tucked behind it. Basil leans forward, thyme spills gently over the edge, and small daisies nod in approval, as if they recognize the quiet magic at work. As the afternoon fades and shadows stretch longer, the bottles soften in color, still whispering hints of light. They remind us that beauty doesn't always come from buying something new. It often begins with noticing what we already have. And just as this gentle ribbon of glass leads the way forward, the garden invites us to take another step toward the next unexpected border waiting just ahead. Two, candy jar rainbow fence wall. Imagine a narrow backyard where the fence no longer feels like an ending, but a beginning. Along its weathered boards, clear glass jars line up quietly, each one holding a small world of soil, roots, and color. What once stored candy and small treats now cradles life, suspended gently at eye level. Sunlight pours through the glass in the late morning, revealing delicate roots pressed against the jar walls, threads of growth you would normally never see. Purples, yellows, and greens glow softly, painting the fence with a calm rhythm of color. The jars sway almost imperceptibly when the breeze passes, as if the garden itself is breathing. Below, marigolds and herbs rise from the narrow strip of soil, proud to grow beneath this vertical ribbon of life. In spaces where the ground feels too limited, the garden learns to climb, lifting beauty upward instead of spreading outward. There is humility here. Twine knots instead of metal hooks, reuse jars instead of polished planters, yet the result feels thoughtful and complete. This border doesn't shout for attention. It invites you closer, asking you to notice the quiet details, the moisture in the soil, the curve of a root, the way light softens through glass. It reminds us that even the simplest boundaries can become places of connection. And as your eyes follow the line of jars along the fence, the garden gently leads you onward, toward the next unexpected edge waiting to be discovered. Three, CD Shimmer Shield Border. Imagine approaching a small vegetable bed just as the morning begins to warm the earth. Along the edge of the soil, familiar silver circles emerge, old CDs, once forgotten in drawers and glove compartments, now standing quietly in the garden. They no longer spin or sing, yet they catch the light with a gentle purpose. As sunlight touches their worn surfaces, soft reflections drift across the leaves of lettuce and basil. The shimmer is never harsh, never demanding attention, just enough to move, to flicker, to feel alive. Birds pause at a distance, puzzled by the shifting light, while young plants grow with a little more peace. Each disc leans at its own angle, creating a border that feels almost musical, imperfect in a way that feels honest. The reflections change as the day unfolds, cool in the morning, warmer by afternoon, mirroring the slow rhythm of the garden itself. Nothing here is polished, yet everything belongs. This border reminds us that usefulness can be reborn quietly. Objects that once held memories now protect new life, standing watch without pride or noise. In a small garden, even the simplest gestures can make a difference. And as the light continues its slow dance along the soil, the garden invites us to follow that shimmer forward, toward another edge where forgotten pieces are waiting to be seen again. Four, Terracotta Crown Ring. Imagine stepping toward a small circle of earth where the garden suddenly feels quieter, almost ceremonial. Around a cluster of flowers, broken terracotta pieces rise gently from the soil, forming a soft crown, imperfect, uneven, and quietly powerful. Each shard carries a history. Once whole pots, now fractured by time and use, their edges have softened through seasons of rain and sun. Placed together, they no longer feel broken. They feel intentional. The warm clay contrasts beautifully with the greens and purples nestled inside, as daisies lean outward and time spills gently over the edge. In the early morning, dew gathers along the terracotta cracks, catching light for a brief moment before disappearing. By afternoon, the clay deepens in color, holding the warmth of the day like a memory. This border does not dominate the space. It protects it, marking a boundary that feels respectful rather than rigid. There is something comforting in knowing that nothing here had to be perfect to be meaningful. The garden doesn't ask for flawless lines or polished edges. It asks only for care, for patience, for a willingness to see value in what remains. And as this quiet crown holds space for tender growth, the garden invites us to move gently forward, toward another border where fragments once forgotten are waiting to guide the path ahead. Five, Puzzle Piece Memory Mosaic Path. Imagine walking through a small garden where every step feels familiar, as if the ground itself remembers something. Beneath your feet, puzzle-shaped pieces rest quietly among gravel and soil, their softened edges forming a gentle border along the path. Each piece once belonged to a larger picture, an afternoon spent on the floor, hands searching for the right fit, patience slowly rewarded. Now, those fragments have found a new purpose. Sunlight touches them unevenly, some glowing softly, others holding small shadows like secrets. Together, they guide your steps without asking for attention. The path feels playful yet grounded. Marigolds lean in from the sides, ivy creeps close, and the garden seems to breathe with every slow footstep. There is comfort here in knowing that nothing had to match perfectly. Every piece was welcomed as it was, finding harmony through placement rather than perfection. This border reminds us that beauty often comes from fragments arranged with care. What once felt incomplete becomes meaningful again, simply by being given space to belong. The garden does not rush. It invites you to walk slowly, to notice, to remember. And as the path curves gently forward, the puzzle pieces lead you onward, toward another edge where simple materials will once again reshape the way the garden feels beneath your feet. Six, sea-tide pebble line border. Imagine a quiet corner of the garden that feels touched by the sea, even if the shoreline is far away. Along the edge of the bed, seashells and smooth pebbles rest together, forming a soft line that echoes the moment a wave meets the sand. Each shell carries its own history, some perfectly spiraled, others chipped and weathered by time. The pebbles, worn smooth through years of movement, settle comfortably beside them. Together, they create a border that feels neither forced nor decorative, but gently placed, as if the garden itself arranged them. Succulents and grasses rise behind this tide-like edge, their muted greens blending effortlessly with the pale whites and soft grays below. As sunlight moves across the space, shadows slip between shells and stones, creating subtle motion without ever breaking the calm. It is a border that does not demand attention. It simply offers it. There is peace in this kind of boundary. It reminds us of slow mornings, distant shores, and moments when time seemed less urgent. Even in a small backyard, the feeling of openness can exist, quiet, grounded, and close to home. And as this shoreline holds the garden in gentle balance, it invites us to drift onward, toward another edge where simplicity continues to shape the way the space is felt. Seven, rope and wildflower cottage path border. Imagine a narrow garden path where the world seems to slow its pace. Instead of hard edges or rigid lines, a simple rope curves gently between wooden posts, offering guidance without restriction. It feels less like a boundary and more like a quiet suggestion, an invitation to wander. Wildflowers gather naturally along this soft edge. Cosmos sway lightly, chamomile leans in close, and the air carries a faint, comforting scent as you pass. The rope itself tells a story through its frayed fibers and sun-faded twists, shaped by time rather than precision. Nothing here asks to be perfect. As you walk, the path feels friendlier, more human. Children notice it first, tracing the line with curious fingers. Adults follow more slowly, appreciating how something so simple can change the way a space is experienced. The garden breathes easily here, balanced between intention and freedom. This border reminds us that structure doesn't always need to be firm to be effective. Sometimes, the gentlest guidance is enough. A soft line, a quiet curve, a moment of calm woven into everyday life. And as the rope continues its graceful arc beside the path, the garden leads us forward once more, toward another edge where old materials will soon take on a new and unexpected role. Eight, reclaimed wood storeframe raised bed. Imagine stepping into a garden where even the edges carry a history of their own. Weathered wooden boards come together around a bed of soil, forming a low frame that feels less like construction and more like storytelling. Each plank is different, some sun-faded, others marked by old nails or softened corners, yet together they hold the garden gently in place. Inside the frame, leafy greens unfold quietly. Lettuce stretches outward, kale deepens in color, and rosemary brushes the wood as if acknowledging the shelter it provides. Nothing here is new, yet everything feels alive. The wood has already lived one life, and now it stands steady for the next. There is comfort in this kind of structure. It doesn't impose itself on the space. It grounds it. The uneven lines give the bed character, inviting the eye to linger rather than pass quickly by. In a small backyard, this frame becomes a meeting point between past and present, old material holding fresh growth. This border reminds us that stability doesn't require perfection. Strength can be quiet, shaped by reuse and patience. When old and new meet with care, the result feels honest and lasting. And as this wooden frame anchors the garden, it gently guides us forward, toward another edge where playful textures and everyday objects will soon take the spotlight once again. Nine, tennis ball soft step path edge. Imagine stepping onto a garden path where something familiar greets you at your feet. Along the edge, bright yellow tennis balls rest quietly in the soil, once bouncing across courts, now guiding footsteps through a small backyard. Their softened surfaces contrast gently with the gravel beneath them, turning the path into something friendlier, less rigid. The color, once loud and energetic, has mellowed under sun and rain, becoming warm rather than bold. Mint and thyme creep closer, brushing against the edges as if curious about these unexpected neighbors. Children notice this border first. They pause, smile, sometimes reach down to touch the rounded shapes. Adults follow more slowly, realizing how a playful idea can still feel intentional. The path invites a gentler pace, encouraging you to look down, to notice the small details that often go unseen. This border doesn't try to impress. Its charm lies in its honesty. Objects that once served a single purpose now offer something new, comfort, rhythm, and a sense of care. In a small garden, even light-hearted choices can shape how a space feels. And as the path continues forward, guided by this soft line of yellow, the garden nudges us onward, toward another edge where simple materials will once again surprise us with their quiet potential. Broken plate micromosaic edge. Imagine discovering beauty in what was never meant to be whole again. Along the edge of the garden, broken ceramic plates settle into the soil, their fragments forming a quiet mosaic that catches the light in unexpected ways. Blues, whites, soft florals, once scattered pieces, now belong to a single line guiding the eye. Each shard holds a memory of shared meals, everyday moments, hands reaching across a table. Embedded here, they no longer feel fragile. They feel grounded. The glossy glaze has softened under sun and rain, blending gently with thyme and marigolds that grow nearby. Nothing is sharp. Nothing feels careless. As you move along the path, the border reveals itself slowly. Colors appear and fade with changing angles of light, rewarding those who walk without hurry. It's a reminder that beauty doesn't always arrive fully formed. Sometimes it's assembled patiently, piece by piece, with intention rather than perfection. This edge carries a quiet confidence. It doesn't try to hide its past, and it doesn't need to. The garden accepts it as it is, transformed, useful, and quietly expressive. And as the mosaic line curves gently onward, it leads us forward once more, toward the next border, where another everyday object is ready to find its place in the story of the garden. If you made it this far, thank you for spending your time with us. I'd love to know which border felt most like you. The glowing bottle edge, the rainbow jar fence, the shimmering CD line, the terracotta crown, or the memory mosaic path. Tell me in the comments what you already have at home, and which idea you're brave enough to try first. If this brought you even a small spark of inspiration, please tap like, subscribe if you haven't, and share it with someone who dreams of a more beautiful garden but thinks they don't have the space or money. Until the next video, may your days be peaceful, your health be strong, and your backyard grow more beautiful with every season.